Hey guys, this is Black Chapel. I decided to do a video that a few people I know have been wanting me to do, and that is just to review my top 10 most used characters. This is not my top 10 favorite characters. Just to understand, this is my top 10 most used. So, most utility in different areas. We'll be going over a few different areas I use them in, why I use them, why I find them useful, and different things like that. So, to start off is actually right here, Lilias. Anyone that has played this game for any amount of time understands why Lilias is on this list and why I'm talking about her first. I'm not going chronologically of best units. I am just going through them from tanks, healers, support, and damage. So I've broken up into 4 areas. So this is the tank first section, tank section. Lilias, a few things about her. So first of all, she does not need to be built crazy good in order to do her job. Okay. I recommend speed for almost every unit. Speed is always going to be your best friend. It's going to get you more attacks. It's going to get your cooldowns off, cooldown faster. It is going to do the most for you out of any other gear set, unless you're going strictly for damage. So Lilias, what does she do? Basically, Lilias is a tank, so she can hold some of the best artifacts in the game. Number two, her skill set. So skill three, uh, she's just nuts because you can build her so many ways. So I've seen people use her as a cleaving unit. I've seen people use her as a strict tank unit. I do a little bit of a variation of everything. So she's an opener in some cases for my PvP team with this because she pushes back combat readiness of the enemy team by 25%. And then also this does damage proportional to your unit with the highest attack percent damage. So if you build her with a lot of crit and crit damage, she can just be bonkers. This also cleanses all debuffs. And so with the Dizzy meta, Lilias is just insane to be able to cleanse everything off that Dizzy puts on your team. Number two turn provoke. I did not give this as much thought when I first got here as I do now. It is insanely good. Okay, you basically lock a unit into 2 turns of just attacking Lilias, plus she gets a massive barrier. And so you can lock down a damage unit and keep them from using their CDs, and it's just insane. Anyone that ever played during the Falcon or Clary era understands that a 2 turn provoke is insane. And my favorite part of her kit, this is what, in my opinion, makes her unnecessarily god tier, is her S1, and it triggers a dual attack with a random ally. So basically, bring people that benefit from doing their S1. I mean, you can do Dizzy, you can pair Dizzy with her. It's insane, but you can do that. She gets an AoE and an AoE chance to stun every unit. You can put her with Tamarine. Every time Tamarine does her S1, it reduces her cooldown so she can get her S3 off more often. You can pair her up with just a ton of damage, and no matter who it pulls, it's just going to do a crazy amount of damage. So that's our first on our list, Lilias. She is insane. If you have her and are a resident sleeper on her, I would highly recommend getting on top of that because she will change your account. Second, and the final tank on my list, Charles. I wanted this unit for so long, and his banner finally popped up, and I got him on my second summon. I was ecstatic. Charles is insane. Easily, in my opinion, the best PvP unit in the game. Put him on a counter set with Elberus Ritual Sword. Mine is only plus 15 because I haven't been lucky enough to get more. I am basically free to play in this game. So, yeah, build him counter with immunity or counter with a ton of effect resistance, either way. And then just get as much crit damage and try and get his attack up there. Mine is not the hardest hitting Charles out there. I wanted him to be more tanky, and so I focused a lot more on tanky stats, getting his health and defense up. Charles is insane. He gives your entire team attack buff, and then his S1 chaining into his S2 just does so much damage. Plus having a strip on his S2, he will do what you need him to do in PvP. Throw him on any defense team, and you'll watch wins just start stacking up if you have the right gear on him. So yeah, Charles, that's our second tank. Now into healers. This one I think is going to be pretty obvious. And Tamarine, she is insanely versatile. PvP and PvE. She has a cleanse. She has an attack buff. She boosts your combat readiness. What more can I say? Even when she's not in her form, her AOE heals on a 2-turn cooldown. It's absolutely bonkers. I mean, she's just so good. She's another one that doesn't need to be built really well. I mean, just give her some speed. I have mine a little bit of a higher speed because I pair her with my Isaria in PvP for some situations. Which, speaking of PvP, if you're going to use her in PvP, you need to have Isaria. It's the only way to actually make her kit useful. So Tamarine, I get her, love her, put her on any raid team, any PvE team at all. You don't even need Isaria for PvE. Just put her on it and she'll do wonders. I use her in my Banshee 13 just because she has cleanse and her healing is just insane. So yeah, Tamarine is just amazing. Next up in our healers is Maid Chloe. I wanted to have more than just one healer, and so Maid Chloe is amazing in PvP. PvE, the only place I really use her is in one-shot comps. So if I'm one-shotting Banshee, I'll use Maid Chloe, and now that it's 13, I'm actually using Vivian for it, but Maid Chloe serves that purpose. She gives a 3-turn attack buff plus a 3-turn res buff. But unlike Rowana, the new grass healer, she reses if they are dead as well. So Maid Chloe, she's just super versatile. Her healing is not amazing, which is why she's not a better PvE unit. She basically is just a buffer. I almost would classify her more as a support hero, but she is a soul weaver, so I just put her in the healer section. Okay, so that's all of our healers for the healer section. Next, we're going to be going to the supports. First one on our list is Dizzy, the bane of existence of this game. Dizzy is... I don't even know how to explain. She's just bonkers. If you don't know what she does, her S3 puts decreased speed, decreased attack, decreased hit chance on it for 2 turns. What makes her this even more insane is it doesn't matter if you're fighting an entire team of grass units because it's guaranteed to miss. And so this landing debuffs does not require her to actually hit them because she's going to miss the entire team. And so it doesn't matter what the elemental advantages are for her S3, it will land debuffs as long as you have enough effectiveness. This current build is going to be kind of weird to a lot of people. Most people want her to be their opener in PvP, so they build her super fast. I basically use her in one area now because my account has more things, so I don't need to be constantly debuffing in PvE in order to survive. My account's got enough gear that I don't super need Dizzy for PvE. So I have her set up for PvP, which is a counter plus Isle Violin, so it strips a buff every time she attacks, and that all of her attacks are AoE. So she can potentially strip a buff off of the entire enemy team every time she attacks. So it's just really good. So I just build her more tanky on a counter set, and so she doesn't need a lot of speed because it's basically just wanting to get her S1 off as many times as possible. So yeah, Dizzy, I would recommend personally if you're building Dizzy to use her in PvE content, build her fast with a lot of effectiveness as fast as possible. I would change this to your Etika Scepter, which has a chance to reduce cooldowns. That way she can get her S3, S2 off more often. Next in our support section is Isaria. The Isaria Tamarine combo has been falling out of the meta lately a lot. I still love it for PvP because it guarantees at least 1 kill, so basically for your ML Kens or counter units, I use her defense break on that unit, and then I cleave, guarantees the ML Ken dies so it doesn't kill my cleaving unit, and then you just go from there. I have her built super fast because I need her to go in front of Tamarine, And the reason for that is, and the reason why she's on this list is basically her S2, which it resets the cooldowns of the character that you are using this ability on. And then she defense breaks as well. And so pair that up with Tamarine, whose S3 starts on a cooldown. Starts on an 8-turn cooldown if you have it Mulligored. And so that way she can go right into this form, give you that combat readiness, give you that attack buff, and then go. Now moving into the damage. This one, there's a few characters that I absolutely love. And the first one is Spectre Tenebria. Easily the best, in my opinion, PvE unit, especially in raid. So why I say that is their S3. So whenever you kill an enemy, this stacks. It stacks up to 5 times, which gives her, what fully Mulligored like I have her, 50% more attack and defense. And then you just stack up a ton of, I wanted her 100% crit because I hate missing crits, and then as much crit damage as you can get. And the 50% attack will get this closer to that 4K mark that people are usually wanting to get with their damage. And then as long as her S3 is on cooldown, this will hit 2 people. So like I said, in raid, it just goes ham. She also has poison, which is going to be the best debuff you can possibly put on somebody that has a lot of health, because it does a percentage of their health every time it procs. So Spectre Tenebria is just amazing. This is my personal build. She's kind of greedy for gear. I wanted her to be fast so she can be attacking more often, but you also need her to be kind of tanky for AoE damage, because the only way to do damage with her, as long as somebody on your team is alive, is to hit your team with AoE damage. She also needs effectiveness to get the poisons off, to get the stuns off within PvP, and then she just needs as much damage as she can get. So she's pretty greedy for gear. You need to gear her appropriately. But she's really, really, really good. Next on our damage list, and I think this is not going to surprise anyone, but Seaside Bellona. She is insane strictly for her S2, that every time you attack somebody on the team that she's on, she gets a stack. Once she gets 5 stacks, she counters, has a chance to defense break. That is the bane of PvP's existence. I currently have her with the new artifact because I use her on my Wyvern team, and so I just need more consistent defense breaks, and so that's why I have her on there. I have her on a lifesteal set, probably not the best set to put her on, but she doesn't really need god tier gear to do what she does. She'll just do damage on any set. So yeah, Seaside Bellona, really, really good. Everyone that plays this game is going to know Seaside Bellona is really, really good. Next, BBK, my main cleaving unit in this game right now. She will hit hard. She'll kill things. She gets an extra turn every time her S3 kills something, giving you a chance to kill something else if you don't cleave their entire team down. The reason why I have her on this list, because people are going to say, well, you only use her in PvP, so she's not super versatile. I use her as my cleaver for one-shots as well. And so she cleaves the first wave, goes in, and then they kill the boss. She's just really good. I've been kind of goofing off. I've been seeing some people trying her out on a counter tanky set. So you put her on a counter set and make her more tanky rather than super high damage. And it surprises people because she heals herself and then she still gets that AoE off. And then her S2, as you do more damage to her, her health decrease, attack, defense, and speed increase. And so she's just going to become tankier, and do more and more damage the more damage you do to her. So there's some other builds that you can experiment with, see how it goes. But yeah, that's BBK. Really, really good. And the final unit on our list, this one I had to give a shout out because Loclaudane would kill me if she wasn't on this list. But our girl, our savior, our favorite, Luna. I still use Luna in Wyvern 13, even though she doesn't have debuffs. She does an insane amount of damage. She is my only unit that I have plus 15. She's bonkers with just doing, like, as a strict damage unit. I don't have her set the best right now for what she needs to do. She's little bit lacking in damage, but I needed her to be faster because with Wyvern 13, if she's not fast, she doesn't get to attack enough. So yeah, this is why I have her set up like this. Obviously, with Daydream Joker, still the best artifact you can possibly take into any of the raid bosses. So yeah, Luna is amazing. If you ever build her for Wyvern, that's what I do. If you're curious about Wyvern teams, I use Crow as tank, Luna as damage, Seaside Bellona, and then Karin as a debuffer unit with a little bit more damage. So that's how I use Luna. It has probably about an 80 to 90% success rate, I would say, ish. So yeah, that is my top 10 most versatile units, in my opinion, and that is based off of who I have on my account. Okay, so there's units that are probably more versatile. I have neither of the Vildreds, so if you have a Vildred, obviously he is going to be number one on any list of anything because he is the best unit in the game, but I do not have him. So this is based off my account, my top 10 most versatile units. Thank you for watching. Again, name's Blackchapel. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Check out my stream. It's going to be twitch.tv/Blackchapel. This is basically my setup for streaming. So if you guys want to, I usually stream from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. So peace out, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye.